she's all, but I hate seeing it. I said, I don't want to hear it. That's what I told her. I said, if he wants it done, he has to come to me, period.
Is she doing that?
Yeah, she started backing off on,
I think you're gonna have to make it more than a suggestion.
No, I know, I told her that, that's what's gonna have to happen, because, it was like a couple of weeks ago, they made me so mad, I almost put them both out of the car in Virginia, cause she's sitting there crying, and he's upset over, the gift Zion gave him, and, and I had to explain to him why, and then I had to tell her to knock it off. I'm tired of, whenever I leave them alone together, and then he's saying stuff to her that gets her upset, and then she starts telling me what he says.
Is there anywhere else Mom could live?
Not right now. I want her to live somewhere else.
I wonder if that really shouldn't be, I suspect that she's subversive to the relationship with Skylar, but also the relationship between the two of you.
Well, because, the one place that she can go to, if she has to be 62 to get in,
How old is she?
and she's 61. So, she won't be, her birthday's in September. So it'd pretty much have to be, or have to find a room for her somewhere.
Okay, so your goal, and you're working on the process of getting her out by September.
Huh? I want to.
I think, I'm not trying to be cruel here. I just know that this is not a healthy relationship, and so I don't know exactly how, but we have to look at this as to how we're going to actually construct it, where grandmother has her defined rules and her defined time. And I don't know that she's able to leave it, that you can leave this up to her to decide. I think you're trying to leave it up to her to decide, and she's not going to do that.
No, I don't want her. I'm not leaving
She's
it up
not
to her.
okay.
She's trying to, because I tell her what I want. I said, this is what's going to happen.
Okay.
But then she still comes back at me with things, and then we end up getting into it, because I start getting mad and yelling at her and being mean, and then she's like, well, he says this. I said, I just don't want to hear it. I said, then, so you're going to have to tell him that you don't want to hear it, that he's going to have to come to me. I said, stop. I said, I don't want to hear it anymore.
Now, when you say it to Skylar, he's a rule follower.
No,
he's very much a rule follower.
I told him he has to come.
You have to come to Mom. You can, and maybe you say, you cannot go to Grandmother. You have to come to me first. You have to come to me first. Sometimes I may send you to Grandma, but you have to come to me first. But you've also got to start taking away, relinquishing some of her duties with him, because I think he goes to her because that's been the routine for so long. And I don't know what it is he's going to her for. Is he going to her?
I have no idea, because she was gone for over a year, and he's been fine doing stuff on his own. And then all of a sudden, she starts doing things, and I'm like, Skylar knows how to do that.
So maybe you have to tell her he's not allowed to do this with you. But you're also going to have to set it up so that Skylar maybe a schedule for him where at 4 o'clock he reports to the kitchen at 4 o'clock, or at 4:30 or 6 o'clock, whenever is a half an hour before dinner, and you start using that time, whoever makes dinner that day, whether it's you making it for him.
Yes.
Or you're making it for him, or whatever, that every day at 4:30 he comes to the kitchen, and that becomes your time together, where you start doing activities together. And it doesn't even have to be so, I think right now you all need to get used to just being with him together, start having some opportunities together. And maybe it can even be the same thing at 7:30 or 9 o'clock at night or whatever, where before he goes to bed for 15 minutes, you set it up in your schedule that you're going to just be together. And that's where you just have those little 10-minute conversations before bed. Remember, we talked about all that stuff about declarative language. I had a great day. I'm exhausted today. I'm wondering what my day's going to be like tomorrow. It doesn't, it can be very open-ended things, and just see where it goes. But putting it in your schedule. I think you're very busy and you're avoiding. And I think, and I understand it, but I don't know how much of it is being passive aggressive because grandmother's taking it over and you're just done, or how much of it is because you don't want him to turn you down.
So one day, right in front of my mom, Skylar came to me and he goes, hey Mom, I've been kind of using up my money and stuff, and my allowance money, and I don't know how to make my money. And I said, well, your grandmother's been doing your chores, so that's why you haven't been getting allowance money. He goes, I said, yeah, so maybe if you do your chores again, you start getting your allowance again. He he goes, okay, I'm gonna start doing that. And then my mom's kind of looking at me, and I'm all, she's like, okay. She just went, okay. So, but it hasn't happened yet.
Mhm.
So,
Well, and I don't know that it's going to happen without you setting it as a limit.
yeah, I'm gonna have to.
And, you know, when you tie it to a you're doing PlayStation,
No, that's not true. I do PlayStation when Gary goes to bed.
so after Kara goes to bed. Okay, so there is time when you are together. I was thinking you were using the little bit of free time there was to go your separate ways. So there really is time in the day to spend time with Skylar, and there is time in the day to spend time together, and there is time in the day to do something by yourself, even if it's for half an hour, to go for a walk around the block, to sit and read the newspaper, to keep a diary, to listen to your favorite music. There is some time you could carve out 15 minutes for yourself, and time to carve out some time together, and time to carve out 5 minutes to just sit with Skylar. Each of the kids needs special time, private time. I mean, Kira needs time where you're giving her undivided attention. And then maybe she won't be so needy during the other times, because it seems like Kira is always with somebody.
Yeah.
And she does need supervision as a 2-year-old, but does she entertain herself at all?
Sometimes.
Do you think it would be helpful at all for either of you to think about how you're going to learn to manage this stress? I mean, you both are like, you started crying the second Kevin walked in the room. And you just clammed up. And you're so mad. And I'm not suggesting for a minute that you shouldn't be, or that I even had to help you through this. But I wonder if maybe this isn't good timing, in that RDI is suggesting until parents can manage their own personal stress and their own marital stress, are they really going to be available for their family?